Shifting our focus to New Delhi, India has launched an operation to get Indian nationals back from Israel. The name of this plan is Operation Ajay. Under this operation, India will be running special charter flights to Israel and get Indians stuck there back in batches. Reports say the first lot of Indians who registered for these flights has now been notified and they will be put on the first special flight back to India on Friday morning. Remember, there are 18,000 Indians living in Israel, but as of today, no untoward incident has been reported. This is what the External Affairs Minister of India said about the operation in an online post. Launching Operation Ajay to facilitate the return from Israel of our citizens who wish to return, fully committed to the safety and well-being of our nationals abroad. Meanwhile, the External Affairs Ministry also held a press conference today. During the presser, it called the strike by Hamas a terrorist attack. At the same time, it reiterated that India has always advocated for an independent Palestine. Listen in.
India has always advocated the resumption of direct negotiations towards establishing a sovereign, independent and viable state of Palestine, living within secure and recognized borders, side by side, at peace with Israel. I think we've been very clear that we see this as a terrorist attack. There is a universal obligation, I think, to observe international humanitarian law. There is also a global responsibility to fight the menace of terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. And I think that accurately sums up how we look at this position.
And now I have with me our correspondent Jody Cohen, who is our woman on the front lines. She joins me today from Ranana. Jody, welcome to WION. How are you today?
Hi Priyanka. So it has been a quieter day overall in Israel, I would say, with fewer rockets. Saying that this evening there have been rockets fired in the north from southern Lebanon into northern Israel, and there's also been rockets fired from Hamas in Gaza into the south and into the center as well, including at Jerusalem. So to say that that's a quieter day says everything, I think, but it is quieter than it has been in previous years, in previous days, excuse me.
Right, Jody, help us understand Secretary Blinken's statement now. He has thrown his support behind Israel, but also likened Hamas to ISIS, something that Netanyahu has been saying since the war began. What can you tell us about that statement?
Absolutely. So Secretary of State Blinken landed in Israel today, and he actually came with a message that not just that the US has Israel's back, but that there's bipartisan support in America for Israel. He said that there can be no justification for the atrocities carried out by Hamas. And he said that Israel has a right to defend itself and, in fact, an obligation to defend itself, while also talking about the importance of doing everything to protect civilian lives. He talked about three things that he was going to be doing here. Number one is making sure that Israel has the means to defend itself. So while he's saying that Israel won't leave and will always be here, he's not referring to boots on the ground. He was very clearly saying that Israel is able to defend itself, but that America would have its back in terms of sending over aircraft carrier, aircraft, ships to the region and munitions to Israel, and said that they would be considering further support for Israel as well.
Right.
The second thing is he said that they would be working to ensure that others don't join in and to work with counterparts to locate and secure the release of hostages. Remember, Hamas has got 150 hostages. We know so far that 100 Israeli families have been informed that their missing loved ones are being held by Hamas. But we also know, and he said in his statement, that the other hostages come from 30 countries around the world, so a lot of people impacted.
Jody, Hamas has released a video appearing to show the release of a woman and two children at a barrier area near the Gaza Strip. Tell us more about that.
So I don't know if that's been verified. Hamas have also claimed that they didn't target any civilians and were also just targeting soldiers. But according to the evidence that has been shown to the NATO defense ministers today in a video, I think they would very much dispute that, saying that women, children, differently abled people, grandparents were caught up in the carnage. There were burnt houses. There were people, according to the evidence and according to the IDF as well, which has been confirmed by the United States and witnessed by the head of the US Embassy in Israel and others. As you said, Foreign Secretary James Cleverly from the UK. Tomorrow the German Foreign Secretary is coming, and they're very much giving the message that civilians were very much caught up in this. We're hearing the latest numbers that it's It's been 1,300 from Israel, mostly civilians, also very much affecting Palestinian civilians. Israel's doing what it can to give warning and to say to people in advance when it's going to hit a particular area. But they're also saying that they're hitting Hamas sites and that they know that Hamas is also hiding in civilian areas.
Right, Jody, thank you so much for all your updates and thanks for joining us yet again. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.